So we're presenting on the case of Brown versus the Board of Education of Topeka. I'm Skylar Pastor.
And I'm Ethan Burford.
So the plaintiffs in this case were Oliver Brown, Mrs. Richard Lawton, Mrs. Sadie Emanuel. The defendants in this case were the Board of Education of Topeka and Shawnee County, Kansas.
Where? Monroe School in Topeka, Kansas.
When? Well, the case was finally decided and ruled on the date of May 17th, 1954.
What? This case was the consolidation of cases arising in Kansas, South Carolina, Virginia, Delaware, and Washington, D.C., relating to the segregation of public schools on the basis of race.
What? In each of the cases, African American students had been denied admittance to certain public schools based on laws allowing public education to be segregated by race.
What? They argued that such segregation violated the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment, and the 14th Amendment states, "Nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws."
What? The plaintiffs were denied relief in the lower courts based on Plessy versus Ferguson, which held that racially segregated public facilities were legal so long as the facilities for black and whites were equal.
Why? Chief Justice Earl Warren delivered the opinion on the unanimous court. The Supreme Court held that separate but equal facilities are inherently unequal and violate the protections of the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment.
How? The court reasoned that the segregation of public education based on race instilled a sense of inferiority that had a hugely detrimental effect on the education and personal growth of African American children.
When? Warren based much of his opinion on information from the social science studies rather than court proceeding.
Why? The decision also used language that was relatively accessible to non-lawyers because Warren felt it was necessary for all of them.
The verdict. Justices ruled unanimously that racial segregation of children in public schools was unconstitutional. This case opened the path for many African American movements further throughout the 1900s.
Back to you, Mike.
Yeah.